Thanks for staying with us. So we like celebrity gists on Fridays. So a popular businessman recently tweeted that pregnancy doesn't keep a marriage. Instead, it threatens it. According to him, in many marriages, the attraction begins to wear off when the woman gets pregnant. That very beautiful, luscious woman suddenly has a big nose. She begins to gain weight. She may never even lose that weight. Her front sides begin to sag, and she just loses her glow and may never get it back if she doesn't have a supportive husband. It begs the wonder, so is that why you marry in the first place? Never ever get pregnant for a man you are not sure of. You will regret it for the rest of your life. What are your thoughts on this? So the question is, should every pregnancy lead to marriage? Because I know some people actually that because the girlfriend got pregnant, they felt pressured and forced to get into that marriage. And that marriage, that marriage had issues.
All through. One more thing to that story, which is that it was a couple were looking to divorce, and then the wife got pregnant, and then they changed their mind.
Exactly. Thank you very much for bringing that in, because these are the various factors. So, is pregnancy that factor that makes you stay together? Either before you got married, or after you got married, you're not like, oh, she got pregnant, now I'm going to stay in the marriage. Yeah. Why do we put that kind of weight on childbirth, on pregnancy, and the woman also?
Okay, so when the emotions are correct and they're in the right places, we don't have to put marriage before the usual act. So you've gotten the circle reversed. Usually there's marriage and there's pregnancy. So the two of you are in love, you're married, and then you walk through, you get pregnant. So it's the normal circle. The best sad. Now what you pay for? You know, it's the normal consequence of the events that happen. But now what he's saying is, okay, let's even assume that you're already validly married, but then things are shaking. And all of us have been through our own. I know particularly that each of my pregnancies, except for my first, I made a decision that I was about to leave. For me. So when I read the story, I was wondering, what's this one? I was about to leave before I had my second child. I was saying, I can't take this anymore. It's too much for me. I just have to leave. And then I got pregnant. And my partner stood by me through with my, my weird case of my own kind of life, my pregnancies and my deliveries. And he was there all through. There was a particular time he went outside Lagos trying to get back to the hospital for me. And he had an accident, tumbled the car, and he still got to the hospital with my soap, my toiletries and everything, because I would not use the toilet for fear of infection. I had a saccade. And the hospital, whenever I go, I have to first of all wash before I sit down. If I ever get an infection with a saccade on, I might lose my baby. So I was harassing him on the phone. I didn't know he was outside Lagos. He didn't want to say I had to travel. But he knew he can make it to Ibadan and back. And he came that night and he gave me my toiletries and said, I'm just coming in from Ibadan. Well, that was when I looked at his clothes. They were torn. And I was saying to him that, what happened? And he was like, it's just small thing, Jerry, but if I tell you. So after the baby, the naming and everything, we're trying to resolve some of the issues. And he was saying, the accident that if I told you, you would run, knew that you want to leave the hospital, you would run. But I really... So this renewed, even if I didn't have certainty about how sure my relationship, what was more, how to prioritize what was important, it showed up what was more important. And,
okay, so let me bring it back to our own time, because when young people say you have to be in love, I love the person, it's not about the children, it's about the fact that I just love him, I just love her. And you have all this love thing today, which is part of what our fathers are saying, but it's beyond love.
It's beyond love.
So when the child comes in, because can we compartmentalize these feelings? Okay, if you love the person, regardless of child or not, I am here. But somehow, when the child now shows up, things change. Either maybe you don't want to stay in that marriage or that union, but once the child shows up, you rethink it. Why do you rethink? Why is it so important? I want us to really thrash and understand these issues from different perspectives.
Okay, so for me, I think it depends on the situation. Now, there's different circumstances. There could be a circumstance where you people are not able to work out your differences. It's not just working. You are tired of each other. And then, you hear advice like, get belle, you go hookah. And then you get pregnant and the guy just, the family is giving him pressure. Don't marry her, just marry him now, you don't born. And he decides to get into that relationship. Now, you still have unresolved issues that will come up later, and the child will have to suffer for it. Now, there are some circumstances where the woman wants to land this guy. and she says to herself, how will I get this guy to stay with me? Probably the guy has like 3 different babes and trying to choose, and and you're not getting the upper hand. You just hear something like, get belly for him, go hook him. And then you use that pregnancy to hook him, knowing fully well that he loves another person more than you. You will run into issues.
Firing you.
They fire. Is it love they used to fire? Love and firing are different.
They are
2 separate individuals, actually.
Hey,
so you use that. You use that to hook him. At the end of the day, because a woman who is dating someone who doesn't really love her will know. This person does not love you, but you just want to hold him. Thinking that after the baby, when he sees the baby, the love will change. What he can do for you is to love the baby. You are still a problem for him. And then along the line,
we been there. You have a saying, I take Pikin, I not take the mother.
I not take the mother, yes. And some of them these days, they will take the baby, they will send you back to your parents' house. We don't want to marry you, and that's it.
They will leave you.
So I think women, I think as we are raising young girls and talking to people out there to understand that if this guy doesn't want you, you don't need to use pregnancy for him, because the child will suffer the mistrust, the child will suffer the lack of love. And if he's a good man, he can take the child to his parents. If he's not a good man, he will leave you with the child.
Okay, I get that. But there are some men who say, out of responsibility to that child, this is my blood, I will marry you.
He will not love you.
So some men, it's not about that. It's about the fact that you have a child for me. And I would like to take... So there are some men, because I don't want us to generalize and assume that, once I don't love the girl, that's it. There are some men say, because you now have a child, I will marry you, and I want that child to have a good family background.
I will not love you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I think this conversation is really about when you do have the choice to make a decision concerning who to marry and how to get married, do not base it on pregnancy. Make sure that your foundation is not because I became pregnant. That's what this is just saying. Let it be that we have a relationship, we do love each other, and we're going into it. If you deceive someone, and this hooking of people is not only women that hook men. Men too think, I will make her pregnant, so she's going nowhere.
Remember my story? That's my story. That I wanted to try. God help my life. I will never forget.
Exactly. As a wife, and your neck is just too long. You're looking too small.
We bring it down. Some people even in marriage, this one, she still wants to pursue her career. Let's give her one more baby.
Let's pull her back.
So those things happen. But what we're saying is that, so it's deceit, whether it's pregnancy or lying about something, as long as your marriage is based on deceit, it would have so many issues. Yes, there are some people who pregnancy has become what determined whether they should go ahead or not. It has happened. Yes. Where you're not so sure. Well, she's not a bad person compared to the other person I'm going out with. I can say they're almost the same. I don't know. And then the pregnancy tends to, I've had conversations like that, like, she wasn't really my main girl, but there was nothing bad about her. But then she became pregnant, and I just thought I could do it.
Mariam, I don't want us to assume that it's always deceit. The girl might mistakenly not know that it just happened. Pregnancy just happened. He didn't plan to hook him. The pregnancy just came.
The pregnancy just hook him. All joined.
So you didn't do it. It wasn't deceit. And you are hoping, because you shared something together, you will be able to marry, we can get married.
Exactly. Most girls, when you happen to be pregnant like that, and you're not, maybe you just think people are friends, and then you just happen to be pregnant, you gain. You gain a child.
Okay.
So if the additional benefit of your father and a husband comes, take it. But you've not lost. Because I got a brief some months ago. This lady was a business partner with somebody. She just thought, this person is a complete family man. He would, he's caring, he's everything and everything. And she knew he was married. But there's a US wife. Me and
she's in Nigeria.
I'm a Nigerian business partner. So she started a fling. And then she happened to be pregnant. So the guy is now saying, American wife of mine, I cannot leave her for you. And then she decided that, I will show you Pepe. She's taking over the business, its profit. She refused to release all his properties with her. She's even striving to swim. And I'm asking her, Auntie, under what law? Where is the contract?
That you signed.
The fact that he can even show a marriage certificate shows that there can never be anything between the two of you. This guy is willing and has been saying, okay, I will maintain you, I will maintain the child.
She doesn't want to be a mistress.
Do you understand? I will maintain you and the child because you're saying the child is mine. But I did my maths. Can we have a DNA? She says no.
You like gist too much.
You gained now.
Today's Friday now.
I said, you gained. You gained a child. You're saying she's bringing the sentiment of I'm out of I'm almost at menopause, I'm out of menopause. I even got, you gained a child. Be grateful.
Take your child.
And be a mature lady. It has happened, Carry your child.
And go.
In fact, don't even wait for his name. If he wants to come and give name, good for him. If he doesn't even give him your father's name, the child belongs to the mother's name.
Because I think we need to start looking at these things in a very mature way. Because there's always this sentiment of, he's the father of my child. He must be there.
He must come acknowledge.
It doesn't have to. I mean, especially because you're not even in the relationship rightfully.
Yes.
But I want us to go back to what Mariam had said, where you are in a relationship, right? Both of you are married. And you've been married for 6, maybe 10 years, no child, and you are ready you want to divorce your wife because you think that you don't have a problem and she's the one with the problem. And as you are ready to, for the first maybe 3, 4 years, you've not been really emotional, you haven't really had a connection with her. Both of you stop talking and that, you're just living together. And suddenly she gets pregnant. Now, the right thing is, do we break up that marriage on the grounds of, I still don't have a connection with you, or do I retain the marriage because she's not pregnant? That's the conversation I want us to have after this break. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on this matter. So if a marriage is already falling apart, pregnancy is one of the factors. There are other factors. Maybe both of you are not just getting along and you just feel like we've been here for 10 years and I'm done. And as you're putting together your divorce papers, your wife gets pregnant. Now, should that be a game changer? Or should the husband say, okay, we're still having issues, unresolved issues. I'm still going to go ahead with the divorce, even though you are pregnant. Oh, many men we see, because of the pregnancy, they endure or accommodate. But is that the right approach in the interest of the child? Or is that child still going to stay up in that toxic relationship when father and mother are still having differences?
So I like the way you put toxic. Now, the covenant of marriage protects you in such a way that you can always try to resolve issues. We're all different. You would always have challenges in marriage. And because you're married, it's not very easy to just carry your bag and say, we're done, like in a relationship. There's always hope. People always keep encouraging, find a way to resolve it. If it's not toxic, if the relationship has not degenerated to a point where one person's life is at risk, then you can talk about it. You can find that love. It will definitely come back. You know this love thing, I've just realized it's undulating. Sometimes it's high.
It's at level 5. And later enter
other
20.
times, you'll be wondering, as in everything the person does irritates you. It goes up and down. Now, in relationships like this, where probably you have been waiting for a child for a very long time, and then you feel this one is not a woman, you are not a man, whatever it is, and now a baby comes. It's, when the man notices that the baby has come, I'm not talking about a relationship, now a marriage, something will move in him, and you can find your way back. Except it's a toxic relationship, then you know that there's nothing we can do about it. But I wanted to say that before you ask this question. We advise young women, I don't want to use this word on national TV.
Think about it.
Don't do somebody you cannot marry. So the truth is we all preach abstinence, but the young people are not listening. So we need to tell them the reality. We know you are not listening to us, you will still do. But when you want to do, ensure.
There are some good girls that will not do.
I'm talking to the ones that we do, which are in the majority. Make sure that the person you are planning to do is someone that if anything happens, the person, you can live with the person. The person is marriable. Because I have realized, and this is as a result of my experiences and conversations with elderly women, the worst thing that can happen to a woman in marriage is to marry a man who doesn't love her. God did not say the man should submit. God instructed, husbands, love your wives. If you miss that love, marriage will be difficult for you. A lot of people are in that quagmire today. Your husband must love you more. Bam. Then every other issues that come in, he will be the one standing behind you to challenge everything that comes.
Fantastic.
If you miss that,
that's it.
Sorry.
That's true to a large extent, but we know people who were in love and then they fall out of love. It happens, and that's why we have broken marriages, all sorts of marriages. People will ask the question, but they were so in love. they did everything together. I know someone who they dated for many years, and when they got married in 1 year, they went their separate ways.
Wow.
When they finally got married.
Wow.
So life happens, yes. And I think usually when we advise people about abstinence, or they advise all of us abstinence, when you are younger, you look at old people like,
what are they saying?
What are they saying? They don't know what's up. But I think the abstinence is just that it's much easier to get to know someone and decide if I want to be with this person before you do that. Because if you do that, there are consequences to it. Everything has consequences.
Yeah.
And if you finally end up and then you find yourself pregnant, I remember there used to be a time when a girl falls pregnant, she's forced to marry the person who is pregnant. Sometimes you're raped by the person who you're forced to be with the person. So if you have
we're speaking against that today.
Yes, so we're speaking against that today. You know, we don't do that anymore. And so now you are in a time where you can make a choice to be with someone. In your choice, make a calculated decision to finally be with someone in that way that you can be with for life.
Okay, so let me be sure that we're on the same page here. So we're saying that in a situation where a girl gets pregnant for whatever reason, and marriage is not possible for different factors, the society should accept a woman's decision to say, you know what, I'm going to be by myself.
Yes, we should.
Still accord her the same respect.
Yes.
It's not, we don't have to force a woman that, because you are now pregnant,
just marry.
Either by maybe a family member or whatever, somebody just fall in love with. The idea is that a woman whose choice is to leave that union should be respected and acknowledged for that.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
so,
what I'm saying.
my neighbor's daughter got pregnant, and what she did was take the girl and the pregnancy, keep in her house. Even when she had the child, she kept the girl in her house and tried to separate her from the boy. But eventually, they found themselves back together, and after 2 years, she was pregnant again before she allowed the wedding happen, showing that, you know, they wanted to be together. She didn't want the pregnancy to be the case. Why? She just thought, okay, the two of you seem inseparable, and you just don't have the means. And then, so the people put together the means, the family put together the means. Let me just recount Obiajulu's, your husband must love you more than you love him. So it's both of you are serving each other, trying to please each other, both of you. So whether it's your capacity that not outnumber his own, it's a different matter. So you might be on a 1 million naira level and your husband is on the Dangote level. Do extremely hard from what your 1 million so that he can see it. You can fall in love blindly, but when you are in love in a marriage, you must open your eyes and count your blessings. Every single act of kindness is what I call love and respect. So every single act of kindness, see it. When he is there for you, see it, count it. Some people miss it. They will not mix it up with my friends cannot take it. What you can take, like Wike said yesterday, is different from what your friend can take.
Yes, so.
But when you know how to count your blessings, you know your gifts in that marriage within your level. You will thank your God, and you.
I think we can wrap up on this very quickly. But let's take a few tweets.
So Rod Akeo says, why do men tend to blame men when they get pregnant? Was he the first? So women purposely get pregnant to keep men. They either abstain, use protection, or face the challenge. Mature-minded women do not fight men because of pregnancy. Okay. Well, there's no perfect marriage anywhere in the world. First is Akimboyewa. Children make marriages or romantic relationships flowering and can actually save many marriages.
Let me go on a quick break. We'll come back and take more tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still talking about issues of pregnancy with or without marriage, and we're going to take a few tweets. Our phone lines are 08127053687. Also call us on 09139076948. Written on the screen now. Please call in. We'd like to hear your views on this. Mariam, I want to take those tweets again because we didn't hear it the last time. Okay, let me come to Nima.
Okay, Mr. PJ Comedian says, pregnancy is not a guarantee to a successful marriage. There are many marriages that are successful today and they adopted children. And many started with, I missed my period, but today it don't scatter. Couples need the right mindset, pregnancy or not. Prince says, my thought is on this issue is 50-50. It's either you love the lady averagely before pregnancy comes up and later start loving her more after having kids.
Yes. Bilkis Morenike says the institution of marriage has different meanings to each. Sometimes some just want the errors and nothing more. And when that gasses out, they move on to the next available body that can satisfy them. That man should speak for himself. He sounds like a potential cheat.
Rosie says, "Omo man, where are we heading to in this part of the world? First of all, what's the definition of marriage? I mean, what's the essence of getting pregnant for a man who foolishly think it's a threat to marriage?"
Some people say the entire essence of marriage is having children.
Companionship.
It's not companionship. It's weird. Modern times I say it's companionship. But growing up is just having children.
Yeah.
So once there are children involved, you're married. That's how. That's what you.
A responsible
woman.
My father says a responsible man is a man who have responsibilities.
To pay for.
So this mystery is saying that let me talk about baby after marriage angle. To be honest, it took a deliberate, conscious mindset to love my wife after 2 kids.
Wow.
Saggy boobs, fat and all. It's hard. Most men can't attest to this.
Let's talk about that.
This is a serious matter.
Okay, so when somebody starts accusing a woman of saggy boobs, flaps all over the place, big tummy, big thighs, big nose during pregnancy, and all that. What is sister? So when men start saying that, I think to myself, okay, what exactly were you thinking? She's about to carry a child.
No, but say it. You're a selfish man. You use the camel. You don't want to feed the camel or take it as it is.
Hey.
2 kids. So salary. You don't want to say you want the body to be like that.
They will not tell you that there are other people who've had 5 kids and they're back to...
It's Gino. With their
so
I'm not a YKO.
So, because there are those kind of women who have 5... I mean, I know somebody who has 7 children. You see her, you not even want pin dropped out of her.
Those ones that look like...
That is her gene. They look like a...
in their family, they don't really have...
But you see, a man will see that kind of person say, can't you be like Auntie XYZ? Can't
you
be like...
Marry Auntie XYZ,
because
please.
you're naturally voluptuous, you're thicker than the average, and there's pressure on you by society that can't you slim down? Yes, are you the only one that have children? Those kind of things happen.
But you know what happened to most
I'll
women?
come to you, Nima. Let me take Miriam's thoughts on this, because a man is telling us now, this is a reason for this is a factor to determine, to decide if he wants to divorce
They struggle
a woman.
to love the wife.
So you see this conversation, right? Usually when any man dares to say it, people jump on them. And it's good that they say it, so that when they say it, then we can educate each other. So first of all, there needs to be a pre-wedding counseling. It has to be mandatory. That men are sat in a class and they are told of the physical changes that may happen in the body of a woman. Because people do come into marriages with expectations. And they feel that when you're done having your babies, you look like J-Lo or Beyonce on TV.
Mariam, you look beautiful. Look at you. You dropped 2 children. You are not a very good example for this conversation.
Anyway, thank you. So first, Beyonce, J-Lo, they have a nutritionist that cooks exactly what they are meant to eat. They have someone that follows them to make sure that if J-Lo eyes sweets, they'll take it out of her hand. Then they have personal trainers that work their body. Then they have doctors that nip and tuck and add and remove.
And adjust.
Then they have hair wigologists that make sure that they have all sorts of hair. Because when you are pregnant, many women also lose their hair. Then, after you have done that, then you have a husband that gives you peace of mind and also arranges you for all those things. So when you see that kind of woman, that woman is a product of work. Yes, it's a product of work that has been put in. Now, me too, there's some work now. At least my husband likes to work out. So in order to keep the husband I'm joining him. But the thing is, you know, people do have those expectations. And sometimes you look at a woman who packages herself better. When she removes everything, you are not sure that she may end up just looking like the person at home. So if you do have... Okay.
James, are you there?
Yes, I'm on.
Morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morayo.
Yes.
Yeah, good morning, BC and others. See, there's something I want to talk about. Though you discussed about this some time ago, that head of the house or no head of the house, Risi or BC, I don't know, was saying that in the house there is a co-pilot or whatever. Then Yenny was trying to correct her that there is always an head, no institution that does not have an head. Yes. And she was saying, no, they are co-head. Are you getting it? That in the house, now my wife has come to a rebel because my wife happens to be one of reach his fan, and all of a sudden, he stopped. He said, I have to do house chore from Monday to Wednesday, and then she takes from Thursday to Sunday. She said that we have equal rights in the house because Brissy said it. Because she listens to that particular. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly.
Yeah, she listened to that particular discussion that day, and now she has gone to rebel in the house because you said we have equal rights at home.
Right.
Yeni was trying to correct her that day, that in any institution, and you kept quiet. That day you kept quiet. I was waiting for your response. Then you kept quiet. You did not say anything. It was Yeni that was trying to tell her that no, there's always an head in a family setting.
Thank you very much, James.
Let me put it in.
Let me show exactly what. I didn't hear everything he said.
Yesterday, Bisi took a stand, and the wife is a fan of Bisi's.
Okay.
So she got, vocal and insisted on certain rights at home based on, Bisi's stand. So he's calling up Bisi now saying, she mentioned that both of their co-pilots in the house and a pilot, and that now, because of that, his wife is more empowered than vocal, and she's insisting that he also does chores.
Okay, all right, point taken.
May I respond? Yes. So I think maybe I should start speaking vernacular so that people would understand me properly. When I talk about marriage, I always talk about marriage in partnership. You are supposed to be a partner. So it's not a lord, and I always mention this, it's not a master-servant relationship, and I stand by what I say. It's a partnership. Of course, you mentioned co-pilot yourself. That means there's a pilot. The pilot listens to the co-pilot and they work together. Can two work together except they agree? I always mention this on the show. So if you now think that I mean the woman should now supersede or overpower you and have more authority than that, that means you're not listening to me. Marriage is a partnership. You have your pilot, you have your co-pilot, and you can work together. Okay. You have to respect your co-pilot. You have to listen to the views of your co-pilot, and you can work together. Yeah. So if you mistake what I say and think I'm saying your wife should not listen to you, I always mention that I am submissive to my husband. I listen to my husband. Yeah, I have a family system where my husband loves and respects me. So I can't come here and tell you not to listen to your husband. Right. So I think we need to listen properly and ask her what exactly she heard and talk to her about it. It has nothing to do with
Let's move on. Thank you for addressing that. Let's move on right now. But still on this, but as we're wrapping up, I want to take a few tweets.
I hadn't given my opinion on what we talked about.
On the body stuff. Yes, I kind of lost track of what
when I was getting married, the pastor that ministered, she's late now, she told us something. She told my husband something, and she said, marriage is like you getting a gift. You do not know what is going to be inside that gift. Whatever you receive, you will take it. You will nurture it. You will manage it. You will find a way to live with it. That's marriage. You do not know the packaging. You can't say what the future holds when you decide to choose this person. So when you get there, whatever is revealing, marriage is like onions as well. As you're opening this layer, every year there's a different thing that's coming up. Now, when you get married and your wife gets pregnant, her body changes. She puts to bed, her body further changes. And you are focusing on the beauty that you think you have lost. What about what she has lost? She is the one that has carried that baby. She may never get her life, her circle. Everything is scattered for a very long time. I know how long it took me to come back to where I am today after giving birth. And I think it's unfair for a man to say, sister, he's now, he's no longer loyal. He's no longer proud. He's now loyal. You're not having stretch marks and all of that. Yes, now. So, but we forget that even the men have their own problems. The pot belly I have now, I did not have it before. So why haven't I killed him? Because he has now given me pot belly.
Let me even use myself as an example because I know that my husband exercises. Those of you know my husband. Yeah. He's extremely fit. When I say fit, mommy, I am not fit. When he met me, I was all like this. I have gained weight. But what he has done, he has tried to help me. It's even me that is not listening. He wakes 5 a.m. in the morning, you wake me up, let's exercise. I don't answer him. I come back from work in the evening. When he gets home also, he says, Morel, yeah, let's go and exercise. I'm like, I'm too tired. I'm not seeing the children all day. I want to hang out with them. I'm the one giving excuses.
Yeah.
Then later, it's okay, he always wants to do exercise with me. I said, please, I just ate. I can't be doing sit-ups again. So I have excuses. I'm the one even causing the problem. So I know that as I'm growing older, my kids are getting older and they're getting more independent. Maybe by then, I will have that time to start exercising with me. But listen.
But you look amazing the way you are. Must we all be slim and tiny?
We've all have gained the weight.
Yeah, we all
But the
have.
man, he's seeing me not just as somebody has gained weight, but as his wife.
Finish.
Period.
That's it.
That's the woman you married. The other side would adjust as the time goes. And if it doesn't adjust, you can help her.
it like that.
You can assist her. It's your job to assist her. She means your own package.
That's why it's
your
important for
package.
men to marry, not boys to get into
I
marriage.
look at after I got married that if I go to the village and I see my husband family compound, I will see the men who have big bellies. Everybody will just line up, enjoy their big bellies. And I told him straight up, don't try it to. And me, who said that to him, took out the dumbbells because I met him. He would make sure he was fit. That was like, but I was afraid of the muscles. I was really, because I was so tiny. He said, you can't have muscles in this marriage. Just be normal. So I took out the dumbbells and my brother came to take them. So sometimes we don't really know what we want. And when I had my first child from 8 straight to 16, I full gram. I just started wearing Buba because I did not know the cloth that will fit me. But one thing he said constantly that made me get myself back, because I like to look good, is I just like you like that.
Exactly.
Every time
We have
he
to
looks
wrap
at the
up on
star,
this.
so maybe you should start to, Miss Chi now on Twitter should start to count his blessings.
Right.
2 kids, some people see they find, and their wife is all shapy and everything. So if you find small, maybe you will know what you're missing.
And if you're a woman also and you want to help yourself,
Yeah.
hey,
Help yourself.
And for me, the secret for that sort of thing that you want is a supportive husband.
That's
A husband
all.
that is constantly criticizing will not get what he wants.
The
You
weight will not
have
go.
to support her, love her for who she is at any point in time, and encourage her to, do more for her health even.
Yeah.
Simple.
Okay, that's all we can take on this. When we come back,
Miriam can help you, I can
we'll
sign
go
up.
into the issue of abuse on all levels. Stay with us. We'll be right back.